Welcome to episode 2 of the Breakthrough series. Okay, the Breakthrough season series. Tap in, tap in. Hey, hey, hey. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Listen, collective, I failed. I failed big time. And I'm going to unpack how I did that publicly in front of all of you, y'all. And it came to the reason why this became episode 2 of the Breakthrough season series is because sometimes most people, or most times, most people don't see where you stumble and you fall, but you see it yourself. And what I learned from my first episode is truly important to carry through your breakthrough season. So I told you guys, like, I'm walking a journey as well. And when I come to y'all, I'm not coming to y'all in a way that is like, oh, I know everything. It is coming from learned experience. And I love taking this journey with you. So tap in, collective. So let me start here. First, shout out to all of my moderators and members who keep this channel safe and alive. Your contributions do not go unnoticed, and I love you guys so very much. If you want to become a member on this channel, please hit the join button. It is less than a cup of coffee, $2.99 a month. And you can make that decision right now in the middle of this message or towards the end, however you decide to join. I am truly, truly appreciative of all of it. So let's talk about my failure. So have y'all ever seen a movie where someone of importance, like a politician or somebody who has to like make a keynote speech? Woo, something just went into my eye. Who has to make a keynote speech? They get up and they have like a speech written in their hand, or they're looking at the monitor that has their speech, and they look at it, they stare at it, they look out at the crowd, and they're like, you know what? I had a speech written, but I'm going to speak from my heart. Have you guys ever seen a scene like that? Okay, the scene that comes to mind is the most like obscure movie, but it's Head of State with Chris Rock, where he runs for president. Okay, this is pre-Obama, by the way. Great movie. But I remember like he's running for president of the United States, and he gets up there with like this manufactured speech written. He's looking at the words come across his screen, tap in, and he's like, you know what? No, not going to do that. And last week in my first episode of this series, I went up here with not a written speech, but a very detailed speech. And I thought that what I connected it to was great. I thought that the bridge that was being built in China was a great analogy to the first episode thank you, the teleprompter for the Breakthrough series. And I felt like me connecting that to something bigger which is you, would like work. It would be like amazing. And it was. But I wrote it out to the point where it was just like, it was not me. Why wasn't it me? Because I wasn't speaking from my heart. I was speaking from a list. I was speaking from things that it felt like I was being boxed in. And if you're new to this channel, I operate directly from a place of divine channeled messages. Tap in. I literally speak from my heart. There is nothing like even if I have something written down, it's like my thoughts coming out, and I might jot down a word, but otherwise there's nothing else written down. Everything that comes to me in the moment, and we discover it together. It's called discovery speaking. We discover it together, collective. Tap in. So when I wrote out everything that I wanted to say last week, it boxed me in. And it didn't allow room for me to say what I truly wanted to say or connect the dots in a free-flowing way. And I'm going to tell you why I did that. Because I wanted this breakthrough series to be something that propelled me into public speaking. I wanted this breakthrough series to be like people that I'm inspired by, like Sarah Jakes Roberts, who I absolutely love. Even Dan Coe, who is a public speaker, Tap In, and many others that I admire and I grab inspiration from. I wanted my breakthrough series to be captivating like that. So I was inspired. And I know that Sarah Jakes and the like are very they're well-studied women and men, and they carry themselves in a way that is poised and divinely feminine. Tap in and is God-led, right? So in my mind, I'm like, no, my breakthrough series is going to look just like that. Like I see myself on that stage. And instead of following my gift to say that this is my stage and you guys are with me, I decided to write it out as if I was them instead of myself. And let me tell you something straight up, like that was not a good idea. I limited myself and I felt all over the place during that speech. And I'm going to tell you right now, not my speech, well, my live stream. And I'm going to tell you right now, many people might not have noticed it because they were in the moment, but I noticed it. Okay. I absolutely noticed it. So in this live stream, I am going to give you the 3 ways that I am using this realization for my breakthrough series. Like this is you and I, right? Tap in. This is you and I having a conversation right now, because I can write down all of my thoughts as much as I want to, but if one of my true gifts is to sit here and be God led in my message, be God led in my thoughts, and say it to you in a way that is just like powerful and capturing so that you walk in your power and your purpose, then I'm not going to write anything down. I'm going to lean into my gifts more than ever. So let's go through this together, collective, because this is a lesson that I've learned for me. I won't be long, but I will be strong. The first thing is that inspiration does not equal imitation. And for me, I pictured myself, y'all, with the microphone. Tap in. I pictured myself with the microphone on a grand stage. And that's a dream of mine, right? I can't wait to get there. But I also recognize that you guys are in an audience watching me on my stage, which is this right here. And that means more to me than any place that I can see myself going to or any place I've been to before. So while I am inspired by those that I see stepping on stage and giving their word and moving a crowd, you guys are giving me the feedback that I need right here by joining the membership, by typing in the chat, by respecting the moderator's wishes, for commenting on my videos, for all of that, sending me emails. Like you guys, your reaction in the audience is what drives me to do this. Tap in. The power of the words is what drives me to do this. So inspiration does not mean imitation, and you and I can be inspired without copying anybody else's framework. My framework is embedded in me. Your framework is embedded in you, and how you go about expressing yourself to the world is how you do it. That is for you, collective. And I absolutely love that we come in different formats that we can digest each other with love and respect. Okay. Oh, that tea is that's some good tea. Shout out to Trader Joe's. One thing I'm gonna love is some black tea and some Earl Grey tea. This is some great black tea. Tap in. So I want you to take away from my mistake that you can admire someone else and still build your own lane. no matter what it is that you are going into, no matter if you're using your voice, whether if you're using your hands as art, whatever, wherever it is that you want to shine, you can be inspired by those who have the gifts and the talents while still carving out your framework. Collective, tap in. And that's what I learned from this. And I think that if you go back, Hi Pickles, I think if you go back and you look at episode 1, if you desire to do so, or maybe it was a one and done for you. But when I go back and I looked at it, I felt like I kept looking down at my paper so that I don't miss any points. For me, the points are within me. If it's meant for me to say it, then I'm going to say it. Tap in, tap in. So again, the first thing I've learned from my failure right here live on the cameras, on the YouTubes, is that imitation does not equal inspiration, and inspiration does not equal imitation. Now, tapping. The second thing that I learned is structure must serve, not suffocate. Tap in. Then I feel like a lot of us, collective, when it's time for us to tap into our power and our purpose, we think that we have to follow a strict regimen that restricts us, that keeps us from breathing into ourselves. Okay, tap in. And I learned that when I was writing all of those notes on my paper and making sure that I showed up in a way that was not authentically me, because let me be very correct, collective, when I showed up in a way that did not serve me or the purpose that I'm here to bring, I was not operating in my authenticity. Tap in. I have to be real. I have to let you guys know where I feel like I did not show up appropriately, okay? And I told you guys I will always share that with you, okay? There we go. All right, I think that lighting's looking a little bit better. Perfect. So structure must serve, not suffocate. So I want you to understand, collective, that my structure was suffocating my message because I wasn't allowing it to flow to meet myself or you or the message that was handed to me in that moment, that I could have given it to you in a way that landed. This is stuff that I am noticing within me. And again, even if you didn't notice, collective, I want you to put yourself in my shoes. I know each and every one of you have experienced this, where you felt like you were prepared. You felt like you had everything. And still, when it was time for you to show up, you felt like you could not move the way that you wanted to because the structure suffocated you and not served you. Collection. Yes. Yeah, it did not serve the collective or the collection. Tap in. Period. Whew. First of all, me using a paper towel as a what do you call those things? As one of these is hilarious to me. Okay. Just a little inner thought I was having at the moment. Costa, Travis, my cousin, y'all. Okay, so I want you to take away from this that structure is supposed to serve you, collective. It is not supposed to suffocate you, restrict you. If the system makes you small, it is not a part of your breakthrough. And as we go through this breakthrough, birthright and blessings era for Q4 2025 and beyond, I want us to understand what the systems do to us. Do they break us down, or do they allow for a breakthrough to happen? Tap in. Oh, this tea is amazing. I mixed this tea with some honey, but some cinnamon, some Vietnamese cinnamon, and I think that was it. Yeah, and it just shines through. Wow. Tap in. So this is really, when I talk about the suffocation within building systems, I need you to recognize, collective, that this can fold for anything. This can go for anything, collective, not just your gifts, but when you are in battle with your family, right? When your family wants you to show up in a particular way that is not becoming of you, that does not serve your divine purpose, or does not allow you to empower yourself, collective, tap in. Because guess what? Everybody ain't always going to empower you, baby. Sometimes most times you're going to have to dig within and know that you are powerful and empower yourself, collective, tap in, tap in. Are you following what I'm saying here? So even within family structures, even within industry norms, even within religious rules, people want you to conform in a way that is suffocating and it does not serve you. So that's the second lesson. That's the second lesson that I learned. Tap in. The third lesson that I learned, y'all, is your authenticity is your authority. And a lot of people don't like that. A lot of people don't want that. A lot of people fear that. And even the collective in their journey, they recognize that, then they know and they feel, tap in. They know and they feel it. They embody this, that even with that, darn the degrees. You guys know you guys know I'm a hospital social worker. I had to go to school for that, right? Darn that. If I did not speak from a place of authenticity, if I was not real with y'all would not care how much education I had. Y'all would not care about my life experience. Y'all wouldn't care about none of that. That's why it's easy for y'all to look at somebody that has 20 million hours of education and they still sit up in front of you and pump fake. Your authority lies in your authenticity, and what your authenticity actually does is it supports your education, not the other way around. Tap in. And I want to make that very clear. When I go into a doctor's office and I'm sitting down with my doctor, I understand that my doctor has hundreds of thousands of dollars of debt for learning what they are specializing in. I understand that my doctor went to school for a very long time. I understand that my doctor had to go through pre-med. Then once they go through med school, they pick a specialty and they got to take years into that specialty. And then they finally get to do things on there. I understand all of that. But if a doctor sits up in front of me and gaslights me and makes me believe that what I'm feeling is not real, what my experience does not matter, then I understand that their authenticity and not caring about me is the true issue. And that their education has nothing to do with healing me, which is the point, right? It is to dismiss me and make me believe that I don't matter. Tap in. And that's the gag. Your authenticity, your realness. Y'all know I was watching My Cousin Vinny. Type of one in the chat if you've ever seen that movie, My Cousin Vinny. My Cousin Vinny, I believe, is a perfect example of authenticity equals authority versus oh, okay, y'all have seen it. Hey, authenticity and authority versus conformity. Tap in. And that movie really does strike a balance, because Vinny and his girlfriend went there to help somebody who everyone said did a crime. Tap in. And within that system where Vinny had to conform, tap in, collective, my goodness. Thank you for this example. He had to conform to the law. He had to conform to the courtroom, right? He had to conform to the dress codes. He was a fish out of water when it came to being a New Yorker coming down to the South. But yet in the courtroom, when it came to unpacking the case, he was authentic in who he was. Okay, tap in. And so this, when I go back to the structure must serve and not suffocate, because Vinny was, in this example, Vinny was operating, feeling like he was suffocating in a system. He structured his own miniature system within a system so that it would serve the bigger purpose, which was to find somebody or get the jury to believe that these two young men were innocent of a crime that everybody had said they were guilty of. Tap in. And that is what I'm saying when it comes to authority equals authenticity, and authenticity equals authority. When you are in your authentic energy, you are an authority, period. You are walking in your authority. And you know what? There are people who sit in their authority and are great, are beautiful people who bring love and light and great energy. And then there are people who are complete buttholes in their authority. They are authority figures in the butthole department. Tap in. I didn't listen. Listen, when we talk about authority, we see people all the time. I know some of y'all got bosses that are walking authentically in their buttholeness. I know y'all got family members who are authentically walking in their wrongness. Y'all got people in your lives right now that are authentically walking in their demonic energy. Tap in. I know that y'all see people scrolling as y'all scroll through this timeline who are creating spaces of inauthenticity based off of trauma, hate, disrespect, control, using people. Tap in. People can be authentic in that as well, collective. So tap into that. Now, I said I wasn't going to be long, but I will be strong. And I meant that. So I might get out of here in under a half hour. But my point in episode 2 was to bring you my experience and wanting more for myself and not staying in a lane that I've built for myself and seeing the outcome of that. If I'm asking the collective to live a soul-led life, then I must find the moments where I deviate and correct. And I mean that. I can't ask of you that I don't ask of myself. And y'all can't ask yourselves to do something. If you're consuming my content, y'all can't ask of yourselves what I don't ask of me either. Tap in. This is an exchange. This is truly an exchange of energy. And we must be very clear on how we present this to not just the world, but how we show God that we are truly walking in our purpose. Tap in. So those are my lessons, collective. Those are the 3 ways that I realized in my breakthrough season from episode 1 that I am refusing to conform and I'm choosing to elevate. And the first one is imitation does not equal inspiration, and inspiration does not equal imitation. Structure must serve and not suffocate, and authenticity equals authority. And as you go through your breakthrough season, remember, October is breakthrough season. That's why I'm doing this series. November is your birthright season, which, oh my gosh, y'all, I don't even know how when we talk about birthrights, we're going to really dig into the spirituality of that transmission of owning your birthrights. And then December is your season of blessings. As we go through Q4 and beyond, I want you to remember that it's the small moments, it's the realizations, it's the understanding that your breakthrough doesn't have to be this major event. It is truly the quantum shifts, the quantum leaps that lead to the grander understanding. Collective, I want for you what you want for yourself, and that's to live in your God-given purpose and walk in your power. And during this breakthrough season, if I trip and I fall right on my face, collective, I'm going to tell you about it. I'm going to be open about it, and I'm going to let you know that I was not happy with how my first episode went. And that was why. I hope that you learn from my mistakes and you take from it, what in the world? Okay. And that you take from it the meaning of walking in your authenticity. My name is Cass Young Crown. I'm an intuitive prophetic speaker. And my goal for you is for you to walk in your power and your purpose, tap in your divine purpose. And I do that by speaking love and light into you. I do that by diagnosing spiritual warfare, living a life that is filled with prayer, connecting with God, manifesting a soul-led life, and staying in alignment. I love you guys so much. I can't wait for episode 3. And I will drop something for members. I'm going to drop a link in the chat. I'm going to do another video, but it's going to be private. It's going to be between us. So I'll drop that in the membership chat box very soon. Also, if you are new here, thank you so much. I appreciate you. I love you. I hope this message resonated with you. Please let me know in the comment section. I am getting better at responding in a timely fashion, but I do always respond to you. Tap in. Thank you so much for all of the people that commented on my release framework that I put in the membership yesterday. I got great feedback from that framework. I'm telling you, it's something that we all need during this breakthrough series. It is my release, RELEASE, release framework. And I break down why it's important. I even answer some of your most pressing questions when it comes to releasing. Releasing can also be a small season in your breakthrough season. And I talk about these miniature moments within your eras and your seasons that you should embrace. I love you guys so much. Thank you very much for being here. This is episode 2 of the Breakthrough Season series. I created a playlist for you, so I hope you get to go back and watch episode 1 and see how I fumbled and stumbled all over myself. It is a teaching moment and some laughs up in there, but still the message connects. I love you guys so much. I'll see you next time. Bye.